So today marks the start of something that I've wanted to do for a very, very long time. In a few weeks' time, I'm going to be on the start line for a half marathon, which I never thought I would say out loud, because I'm 44, I'm a plasterer, and not too many years ago, even a year to say that, I was in a pretty dark place. I had no energy. You know, manual labour takes its toll on the body, and if you know anything about manual labour, such as plastering, scaffolding, landscaping, etc., you know that it's bloody hard work, very, very physical. So to do something like running, particularly like a half marathon, you need to be cut from a different cloth to be able to do that. And to be fair, from speaking with other tradesmen, I don't see too many people training for half marathons. And with that being said, and if I'm being honest with you, I don't even know if I can run 13.1 miles, because I haven't run that far yet. And that begs to differ, or even asking myself the question, like, what time can I actually finish it in as well? Because yeah, when you're on your feet all day, you know, in the van, plastering, picking up bags of plaster, buckets of water, etc. Yeah, all of this stuff is kind of in the back of my mind. So it's going to be interesting to see if I can actually, complete a half marathon. So a disclaimer at this point as well is, like, I used to do a lot of boxing when between the ages of kind of like 14 to sort of 22. I'd done a lot of boxing, competed an ABA level, so I was bouting. So the reason I mention that is because kind of running for me isn't completely alien. I did do a lot of running, but my old boxing trainer used to say to me, you want to be running a mile per round. And back then it was 3 rounds. And he used to say to me, you want to be, for good measure, you want to be sort of aiming to get through 5 rounds, even though you're only fighting for 3. So the reason I say that is because I would never ever run any further than, say, 5 miles. That would always be my limit. And I can remember even between the ages of kind of like 16, 17, running 5 miles was some going. So at this point of my life, at 44, I literally never thought to myself that I could be running 13 miles. And at this point as well, like, I have run 10 miles, like, at a pretty good time. I think I've done that in 1:28, which was pretty good. And I did train quite hard for that. You know, I've done recently a 10K in 49:31. My best time for a 5K is 21:57. So I'm hoping with all of those times and the stuff that I've already done with regards to running is going to pay dividends. And the equity that I've built up so far over, say, the last 12 months of really taking running seriously, I'm really hoping that all of that is going to pay dividends on the day of the half marathon when I'm on that start line. Now, if you're watching this and you've done half marathons, any tips or anything that you can give me, please put them in the comments box below, because I need all the help I can get, truth be honest. I want to be as fast as I possibly can, because I did attempt to do like a 2050 Saturday gone. There's going to be a video, I'm going to put a link around here, which I failed miserably at. It really didn't work out, and to be fair, I was quite embarrassed, but I learned a lot from that particular failure. Now, with all of that said, and on top of all of that, what I do for a living as a plasterer really makes a difference, because it is physically taxing when you're on the tools all day. And the only people that are really going to understand this are other plasterers or other bricklayers, renderers. Renderers are kind of plastering in the same sort of thing, but you get where I'm going. And this is playing in the back of my mind. Now, I do supplement quite heavily. I'm pretty much into the electrolytes, all of the proteins I eat, clean diet and all that sort of stuff. So that is going to play its dividends, I'm sure, and I'm going to get some benefits out of that. But with that said, I guess the main point I'm trying to make here is if you are watching this and you've run a half marathon or even a marathon and there's any tips and tricks you can give me, then please put them in the comments box below. I'll really appreciate it. The big caveat to all of that is what I do for a living. Manual labour. I'm a plasterer. And the reality is that only other plasterers, other people that are doing manual labour, and I'm not talking about plumbers or electricians, are going to understand the demand on your body physically doing manual work, doing things like plastering. And the reason I say that is because I hope this video can potentially give other people that are doing manual labour a little bit of hope that their body, if you're feeling broken as an example, if you're feeling like depleted of energy, it doesn't have to be like that. Chances are you're just deconditioned. And the body is this remarkable instrument. And if you just give it the ingredients it needs, the right supplements, the right food, the right rest, the right training, I think you'll be surprised what it can do, because I know there's a lot of tradespeople out there that feel a bit lost maybe, feel like they're getting old, and that just isn't the case. Because the reality is that getting old is inevitable, but how we age is a choice. And I think that's the most important thing, and I've kind of adopted that mindset myself. Like, I'm gonna get old. That's a given. We're all gonna get old, right? We're gonna turn into old fuddy-duddies, you know, but I wanna try and stay at a care home for as long as I can. But again, how we age is completely our choice. Are we gonna be like a centurion, doing a 100-metre sprint or doing half marathons? I mean, there are stories out there. We do see them. There are these individuals. Or are we going to be like 60, 70, getting out of breath, walking up some stairs? You know, when you think about it, it's quite serious. But again, and just thinking, as my brain's sort of tricking along, like, we understand the concept of retirement and saving for retirement, right? With pensions and all that sort of stuff, it's a really easy concept for us to understand. But I don't think there's any difference with our body, in the sense that every deposit we make into our energy bank account, such as a good meal, good sleep, good nutrition, these are all deposits that we're putting into our energy bank account, into a future version of ourselves. And again, that's partly the reason I'm doing this video, is to sort of hold myself accountable. When I look back on this video in 10 years' time, it'd be interesting to see what I've accomplished at that point. So look, with that said, if you find this content useful, if you want to join me on my journey, half marathons, ultras, to see what I can achieve, please consider to subscribe to the channel. It will mean the world to me. It will really make a difference. And as I said before, if there are any sort of people that are watching this that have done marathons and half marathons and can give me any tips and tricks, etc., or any advice, please put them in the comments box below. I'll be very grateful to hear from you. But apart from that, thanks very much for watching, and I'll speak with you in the next one. Take care of yourself.